An ugly bird lands right next to a beautiful one, and he gets Spartan smacked to his death. Gu, a run-of-the-mill young adult, gets ready to go to a job interview, all while bemoaning the fact that beautiful people have it better, while ugly or ordinary people have it worse. While passing through the living room, he catches a news broadcast announcing the newest edict of the beautiful queen, banning ugly people from roaming the streets. Gu ignores the TV and shuts it off. As he prepares to go out, he tells his younger sister Meng not to go outside. On the way to his interview, Gu observes a police officer arresting an otaku who was just trying to buy a new anime figure. He also observes a short, balding fat man trying to evade authorities. Apparently, this man is a rare 3-star class ugly person who has been evading capture for 5 months. The officers are given permission to shoot their cameras. After being beaten by the police, the man is charged with the crime of being ugly. His punishment is life imprisonment, the confiscation of all his property, and being banned from ever looking in a mirror again. A young couple mocks the man for being ugly, and at the same time, a mother warns her child to never leave the house. A crowd forms around the ugly man, and they start shouting obscenities at him. Gu observes this all with increasing disgust. Gu snaps out of his trance and is informed that he has passed the interview. His celebration is short-lived. They have only hired him for a 90-day trial period. On the other hand, Cha, his supervisor, has been repeatedly promoted through the ranks on account of her beauty. To top it off, she has 6 months of vacation leave per year. Gu is depressed. One afternoon, Gu is called to the office, where Cha reprimands him for being so ugly that 2 of their clients canceled their orders. Gu reasons that he's already sporting the most stylish suit and haircut he can afford, but Cha tells him to shut up. She orders him to kneel, and so he kneels. When he looks up, Cha stares at him dead in the eye, causing him to flounder backwards. Cha continues her vicious tirade against him, claiming that she gets depressed just looking at his ugly face. To add insult to injury, she wishes aloud that all ugly people would die. After work, Gu lifts a large number of boxes at Cha's behest. When he asks why he has to take time off after work for this, she tells him to stop talking back and to help her move in and clean her house. Gu begrudgingly does as he is told, and he starts with the mountain of dishes that have piled up on her sink before moving on to mopping. While Cha takes a relaxing bath, she instructs him to clean her room after he finishes washing her clothes. When she exits the bath, she also tells him to clean her bathroom and not to look at her. Gu walks past her so he can clean the bath, but he accidentally steps on her toes. Physically and mentally exhausted, Gu staggers back home, carrying the chicken he promised Meng. When he arrives, Meng holds up a sheet of paper, asking when she can go outside. Gu takes pity on his sister and embraces her. Something has to change, and he promises her that one day she'll be able to walk down the street with pride. The next day, Gu wakes up and commutes to work, where the more beautiful people are given priority seating. Even on crosswalks, the more attractive people are allowed to walk first. While waiting for his turn, the beauty queen makes a surprise broadcast. Several faint just from looking at her beauty. The queen reveals that several criminals have been caught trying to alter their appearances via surgery. Their execution via camera shooting is publicly shown. The queen reminds them all not to attempt to change their appearance in any way on the threat of death. Gu, back in the office, is forced to grovel before Cha as punishment for ignoring her calls. While Gu lies prone, Cha viciously berates him for being ugly and says that he should know his place. When Gu returns home, he finds a small voucher wedged underneath the door. When he enters, he notices that Ming hasn't gone out to welcome him. She refuses to go out of her room. The next day, Gu follows the instructions on the voucher and heads to a public park toilet. He arrives at the designated stall, but upon inspecting every corner of it, he finds nothing. Remembering the code word sewer, a hidden panel underneath his feet slides away, dropping him several feet underground. After picking himself up, Gu wanders the darkness of the sewers. He suddenly collides with an invisible wall, and hyper-advanced cameras start scanning him. After confirming that he is ugly and possesses a voucher, they toss him down yet another series of tubes. He ends up on a separate floor, where he is welcomed by a man named Dr. Machete, possibly the coolest name in existence. He assumes that by coming here, Gu has agreed to be a volunteer. Without waiting for his reply, robotic hands sprout from his back so he can begin the experiment. Gu is enclosed in a large metal contraption. Suddenly, police officers raid his laboratory and arrest him for endangering national security. Machete presses a button that collapses the ceiling to buy himself some time. Machete mutters that it's now all up to Gu to bring the world back to what it once was. When the smoke clears and the dust settles, The capsule opens. Police officers swarm the capsule with their cameras drawn. When a woman starts approaching them, the officers' beauty detectors suddenly go off the charts. Only the beauty queen herself is known to possess a 5-star beauty rating. The girl is so dazzling that the officers physically flinch and fall to the ground, dropping their camera guns in the process. The girl, who turns out to be Gu, looks at a broken mirror and realizes that he has turned into a girl. While trying to figure out what happened, Gu realizes that Machete turned her into a girl. Enveloped by a radiant aura, Gu leaves the ruins of the laboratory and makes her way back to the surface via a manhole cover. Gu finds herself in the middle of a busy intersection where half the people fall in love, but everyone bows down in worship. Everyone caters to her every need, and Gu suddenly finds herself armed with new clothes. Gu enters her old office building and requests a job. The human resources guy hires her on the spot, and she is instantly made the new CEO of RET, a technology company. She is given a spacious new office as a bonus, and for the first time, Gu feels the perks of being an attractive person. While enjoying her new life, she requests that the department director make an appearance. Cha politely enters the room and enthusiastically offers her services to Gu. Gu orders her to kneel on the ground and to touch her forehead to the floor. Gu hopes that this will humble Cha somehow, but Cha actually likes being humiliated and degraded, but only by beautiful people. She asks that Gu humiliate her even more, and she gets a little too excited for Gu's tastes. Cha pledges to do whatever Gu asks in the future, on the sole basis of her beauty. Gu feels rather unsettled that she can seemingly do whatever she wants just because she looks good. But for Cha, that's only par for the course. Beautiful people make a beautiful world, after all. Cha exclaims that Gu's beauty is so great that she could possibly join the Beauty Guard, the Queen's elite circle. Gu, realizing the potential power she could wield as a beauty guard, resolves to reach that point for the betterment of Meng's life. The 4 beauty guards learn of the appearance of a 5-star beauty. However, they don't seem to be concerned in the slightest, and they decide not to inform the Queen of this incident. The next morning, Gu watches a news broadcast of a negative 1-star man who voluntarily surrendered to the authorities after encountering a battalion of 2,000 2-star beauties who were cleaning the toilets. Subsequently, the recent influx of arrests of ugly people has placed immense strain on the prison system, causing some to entertain the idea of executing the ugliest prisoners. Cha asks Gu why she has ordered 2-star beauties to clean toilets, and she replies that it's all an elaborate act to keep ugly people out of the public eye. Cha appreciates this stroke of genius, which she believes will eventually drive all ugly people to extinction. Gu learns that Cha thinks that all beautiful people are smart, while all ugly people are stupid. To her, it only makes sense. Gu whispers into her ear that she'll one day make her feel that same humiliation, which is enough to make her go weak in the knees. Before she leaves, Gu asks for information on how to go to Ugly Gate Prison. Cha brings Gu to a government data center, but warns her that only the Queen has the authority to enter the top-secret data rooms. She hopes that Gu's beauty is enough to win the staff over. Gu combs through textbook after textbook, trying to find out more about the prison, and she learns about a device called the aesthetic seismograph. Suddenly, the power goes out. Racing to the rooftop, she and Cha discover a woman clad in an elegant white cloak. Cha identifies her as one of the 4 beauty guards, the Pink Petal, Lord Bright. Bright asks her if she was the one who sent out the 2,000 2-star beauties to clean the toilets, and in response, Gu asks her if she knows about the aesthetic seismograph. Bright's tone suddenly changes. Gu's not supposed to know about the seismograph, which means she must be destroyed. Bright sneers that Gu's just a little bit prettier than average and that she shouldn't get ahead of herself. Bright sheds her cloak and activates a set of aesthetic detector drones that take to the skies. She explains that these robots, designed and approved by the beauty queen herself, will scan the beauty of both parties, judge them, and destroy the lesser beauty. Gu is ranked as a 4-star beauty, but Bright is a 4.5-star beauty. Bright laughs. As long as she basks in her light, her beauty is virtually unmatched. Gu's fate is seemingly sealed, but suddenly her drones shut down on their own. Confused, Bright turns around to see that Cha has unplugged her console. Without her light, Bright's beauty plummets to 1.5 stars, making her a target for her drones. The drones gun her down, transforming her into a quarter of what appears to be an emblem of sorts. Gu picks up the emblem piece and resolves to head to Ugly Gate Prison. That evening, the remaining 3 knights discuss the defeat of Bright, but they all agree that she was the weakest among them. However, now that Gu has made herself their enemy, They all make their own preparations to eliminate her in the name of the Beauty Queen. At Ugly Gate Prison, prisoners are abused, fed little, and are forced to work by carrying huge blocks of stone. The prisoners are constantly reminded that their sin of being ugly is an incredibly grave crime. Their very births were a mistake. A young boy asks his grandfather when they can go out, but he is told that they have no choice but to remain here forever. Gu attacks Ugly Gate Prison, using the same drones that Bright once used. Gu slaughters her way through the guards, demanding that the prisoners be released at once. When the guards refuse, they are shot. Gu enters the main prison tower in hopes of releasing all the prisoners. However, before she can press the button, one of the 4 beauty knights interrupts her. He asks Gu why, despite her beauty. She insists on doing these pointless things. Clad in flowery petals, he introduces himself as May, one of the 4 beauty knights. He reminds Gu that the Beauty Queen has decreed it unlawful to release ugly prisoners. Thus, Gu will be judged. Gu uses the device that Bright left behind and uses it to transform her outfit into a far more beautiful and elegant dress. The entire budget of the show went to this one transition. The beauty detectors fly out of their cases and rank Gu's beauty at 5.3 stars. May, on the other hand, records a meager 2.5 stars. However, as the only man among the 4 beauty guards, May reminds her that the most beautiful creatures on Earth will always be men. May likewise changes her outfit to suit his needs and clads himself in an array of flowers. Despite this, his beauty rank remains below Gu's. Gu taunts his failure at first, but she is suddenly overwhelmed by a stinging stench. This is May's special pomelo flower, engineered to give off a disgusting aroma. Because Gu is forced to cover her nose, her beauty ranking takes a massive hit. Suddenly, she's on the back foot. Gu thinks fast, and she throws some sand into May's eyes. Now that he is forced to squint and scrunch up his face, his beauty drops behind Gu's. With his death about to become a certainty, May surrenders and begs for mercy, prompting the guns to stand down. May promises to follow Gu from now on, which satisfies her. May reveals that the Beauty Queen intends to maintain world order with an iron fist of beauty, with attractive people at the very top of the social stratum. Under this system, beautiful people will hold all the power. Cha finally catches up to make sure that Gu is okay. Gu says that she's fine, and that they'll leave as soon as she sets the ugly people free. However, before she can press the button, Cha surprisingly stops her. Gu tries to shake free from Cha's grip, reasoning that now is their best chance to let all the ugly people go. However, Cha resists, believing that it is best for the ugly people to stay locked up in their cages. Gu replies that the people were just unlucky to be born ugly and don't deserve to be treated this way. They're just ugly, she exclaims, and they have done nothing to warrant the bullying and abuse they receive. Cha snaps that there should be nothing wrong with how that works. Beautiful people, she reasons, are naturally good and correct, so there is nothing wrong with removing the ills of society. They enter a heated argument over who's wrong or who's right, which culminates in Cha begging Gu not to destroy the society that they've built thus far, believing wholeheartedly that the current status quo is the correct one. However, because of the way the beauty drones are coded, Cha's actions are viewed as disobedience, and they take aim at her. Gu warns Cha that she is about to be killed, but Cha remains adamant in her decision. If she will die for her beliefs, then so be it. Gu repeats her earlier intention to release the prisoners, and she asks Cha if she will obey her wishes. Cha stands firm. She refuses to condone it. Flashbacks of Cha pass through Gu's mind, from her abusive side as a superior to her subservient role as her maidservant. Gu reminds her that she has always obeyed her, and Cha replies that she only obeys beauty. With some of the hardest dying words in history, Cha is obliterated by the beauty drones, while Gu and May watch on in disbelief. Gu, angered, presses the button to release the ugly prisoners regardless. Alarm bells ring out as the cell gates slide open for the prisoners to freedom. Gu addresses them all from the courtyard, urging them all to eat what they want, do what they want, and live as they want. They are free. The entire prison erupts in thunderous applause and cheers, but things quickly take a turn for the worse. Chaos ensues as the prisoners start fighting over the food and scraps from the cafeteria. Several of them are shot into nothingness by the beauty guards. The prisoners start fighting and tearing each other apart like animals. Those who aren't immediately killed are trampled. One man, claiming to be the ugliest among them, declares himself king, and the others quickly fall in line. Gu is confused. She thought she had given them salvation. May explains that the ugly people know that nothing is left for them back home, so they have preferred to live amongst each other, quashing those even uglier than them. Gu is disgusted. It's not different at all from how beautiful people act. She suddenly feels a shadow of doubt. Can this world truly be changed? May hands Gu her portion of the emblem, which serves as the badge of office for the Beauty Knights. She tells Gu that she needs all 4 pieces to combine into a single emblem, which will grant her access to the secret room of the Beauty Queen. The answer she seeks may be hidden within. Gu requests May's help in gathering the remaining 2 pieces, and she resolves to change the world as they know it. 2 women on a street get into an argument, and they inevitably compete over whose beauty triumphs over the other. The Beauty Queen's aesthetic detector drones scan both women and kill the one whose beauty value is lower. At the same time, a news broadcast details Gu's latest takeover of 2 companies, the largest electric and flower companies in the country. Gu's reputation skyrockets, and she uses her platform to advocate for true beauty that isn't just skin deep. She proclaims that true beauty lies within. Her views are seen as rather strange and niche. Meng is left alone at home, with Gu leaving behind a letter claiming that she'll be going on a business trip for a while, but promising that their house will be renovated while he is away. While Gu takes a bath, she thinks about Dr. Machete and how similar her origin story is to Captain America's. May enters the bath and reports that he has 2 possible leads on the 2 remaining Beauty Knights. Gu wants to make sure of the details before making any rash decisions. May asks her if she really intends to make an enemy of the Beauty Queen, and Gu replies that she does. Her resolve is firm. She will change the world. She dismisses May and he obeys. Just before he leaves the room, he muses that Gu's current personality reminds him of the Beauty Queen from 3 years ago. That evening, while Gu prepares to sit down for a private dinner, she is suddenly attacked by 2 pieces of eyeliner. A new enemy approaches. A girl steps out of the shadows, introducing herself as Ying, one of the 4 Beauty Knights. Gu flips the light switch, giving her a full view of her opponent. Ying, armed with a strange box by her hip, orders Gu to surrender herself to the Beauty Queen. Gu welcomes the challenge. 3 aesthetic detectors crash through the window and immediately target Ying. However, she retrieves the box on her hip, a makeup kit, and gives herself a makeover. This is her unique ability, the use of makeup to fine-tune her own appearance at the drop of a hat. Ying is confident that she's much better looking than Gu without makeup on. That's precisely why she waited until Gu was fresh out of the shower. The drones take aim at Gu, and she attempts to have the laser beams hit Ying instead. Ying sees through her pitiful plan, and she tells her that it is useless. The drone lasers are incredibly accurate. However, this was all part of Gu's plan. She rolls underneath the table, putting herself out of view of the drones. With no one else to target, the drones point their guns at Ying. From a low angle, her appearance is that of a middle-aged man. Ying realizes that she is beaten, and she doesn't even bother to dodge. The laser strikes true, leaving nothing left but her bag and her piece of the emblem. Gu picks up the emblem piece, 1 to go. The last of the 4 Beauty Knights is almost saddened that even Ying has fallen. The Beauty Queen can no longer ignore the situation, and she demands to know who is eliminating her faithful knights. The last of the knights promises to find out more about Gu soon. A few days later, May informs Gu that she has found the whereabouts of the last remaining knight, Ball. Gu sets out to leave at once. They head to and walk straight through the entrance of a corporate building. Inside, the staff politely stands at attention, extending neither praise nor service. May finds the atmosphere slightly unnerving, and she conveys these feelings to Gu. Gu also finds it strange. When they reach the front desk, the receptionist reveals that she already knows why she is here. Ball has been expecting them. The receptionist leads them to an elevator in the lobby and instructs them to take it to the top floor, where they will meet Ball. Gu enters without any issue, but the receptionist stops May from entering. Ball gave strict instructions to only allow Gu through. Surprisingly, Gu instructs May to comply, reassuring her that this will all be over soon. Gu taps the button for the 80th floor, and May urges her to be careful. After what was most certainly a 10-minute ride, Gu arrives at the 80th floor. Almost immediately, the elevator behind her slams shut, and a spotlight shines on the center of the room. Lord Ball stands idly in the center. Gu demands that Ball hand over her key fragment. When Ball refuses, Gu resorts to brute force, or rather, beauty. Shedding her outer garments, Gu begins her Sailor Moon transformation and becomes a stunning beauty. However, when Ball turns around, Gu is horrified to discover that her opponent is actually Little Meng. The aesthetic detector drones begin revving up their guns, but Gu steps in and prevents them from firing. The drones stand down. Gu asks Meng what she's doing here, confused that her sister was actually Lord Ball all along. Meng suddenly lashes out and writes across Gu's face. Meng remarks that she's here to kill her. Ball reveals that her ability is to simulate faces she's seen in photos. Thanks to a high-tech projector, Ball can simulate any face she desires, ensuring that her beauty always comes out on top. When Gu asks her how she found out about Meng, Ball replies that it wasn't hard. Gu remodeled their house just for her, and she also knows that she is supplied with 3 luxurious meals a day. Ball restores her face to her original appearance, and she asks Gu if she's ready to die. After removing her visor, the aesthetic detector drones weigh their beauty against each other, and Gu loses. However, before they can fire their lasers, 2 roses disrupt her simulator device, causing her face to rapidly morph between faces she's seen in the past. The drones target her instead and blast her into oblivion. Ball drops her key fragment, ripe for the taking. Mei saved the day just in time, and Gu is glad to see him. Gu asks Mei how he managed to get here, and he replies that he used the ventilation ducts. Mei picks up the last key fragment and hands it to Gu, completing the key. The Beauty Queen is now within their grasp. Gu and Mei head to the Beauty Queen's castle, a picturesque fortress straight out of a theme park. Mei remarks that 3 years ago the castle was freely accessible. Homeless people and beggars would come for alms, and the Beauty Queen happily supplied them with food and shelter. Something changed 3 years ago. The Beauty Queen suddenly wanted to do away with the current structure of society, and she briefly disappeared from the public eye. When she returned as the ruthless queen they know now, she had her ministers executed, leaving only the 4 beauty knights as her elite guard. Nobody, not even the 4 knights, knows why the Beauty Queen suddenly turned out like this. Gu asks if the Beauty Queen has been seen since, but Mei replies that the queen keeps herself isolated in her castle. They only receive their orders remotely. The entrance of the gate contains a beauty filter, meant to keep ugly people out. Gu and Mei pass through without issue. With determination, Gu and Mei march up the marble steps of the outer castle. When they reach the courtyard, they discover a factory that continuously produces aesthetic detectors. Mei explains that the Beauty Queen is not only physically attractive, but a genius as well. Everything in the castle, from the beauty filters to the dronies, was designed by her. Proceeding forward, they reach the front doors of the castle proper. Mei is forced to stay behind, as the filter will kill anyone who isn't a 5-star beauty. Gu wordlessly enters the castle, and Mei begs her not to kill the Beauty Queen but to help her. Gu confidently walks straight into the reception hall as the Beauty Queen stands by the throne with her back turned. She turns around and introduces herself as the 149th queen of the beauty family, Piers. Piers glare at Gu. To think that the person who killed her elite guards and freed the prisoners of Ugly Prison was such an unimpressive person. Gu brings out the key, which she claims will open a secret room behind the throne. Based on her research, it is said that this room contains a device that can change people's hearts. Piers finds it odd that Gu, despite possessing beauty rivaling hers, still chooses to do such a thing. Gu asserts that she is doing this for the world to go back to normal. Piers advises Gu not to do this, but that won't stop Gu. Aesthetic detector drones hover ominously around them both, but because their beauty is at a pixel-perfect stalemate, their motherboards explode. Gu stares Piers down, but the image of the queen suddenly flickers and disappears. She was an illusion all along. Piers' voice echoes throughout the hall. She is everywhere, and she's been waiting for this moment for a long time. Gu, realizing her folly, runs out of the castle and reunites with Mei. A giant barrier appears around the castle, and it pulses forward, immediately vaporizing those who aren't up to her beauty standards. Regardless of where they are or what they're doing, ugly people are killed one after another. This is Piers' ultimate goal, a new world free from ugliness. Piers reassures Gu that she'll still be in it. Gu heads out into the city streets to witness the destruction firsthand. A hologram of Piers appears over the city, happily announcing to her people that the beauty filter has finally been completed. Currently, the filter is only at the first level, eliminating those who are 1-star beauties and below. However, she fully intends to increase the levels until only the most beautiful individuals remain. As the wave rips through the city, Gu rushes home to try and get Meng out of danger. A camera lowers and scans Gu, but denies her entry. Gu begs and pleads with Meng to open the door, warning her of the imminent danger. She claims to be her brother and begs her to come out. When the camera refuses to let her in, Gu uses Ball's device to change her appearance to Meng's, and the vault door swings open. Gu rushes into the room but discovers Piers instead. The truth soon becomes apparent. Meng is behind Piers. Meng was the beauty queen all along. Meng certainly didn't expect her brother to become a beautiful girl, but stranger things have happened. She admits that she's done plenty of bad things as the beauty queen, but she doesn't regret them one bit. It's time to end this farce. Gu is still in denial. There's no way her kind young sister could possibly be Piers. Meng snarls that Gu doesn't know the first thing about her. Gu tries to coax her sister to come with her, but Meng isn't going anywhere. She'll wait for the end to come on her own. With a push of a button, Gu is flung out of the apartment by a robotic arm. Gu, confused, asks Meng in vain why she is doing all this. As she grovels on the floor, Dr. Machete appears out of thin air and instructs her to bring the family key back to the castle. Below the throne is the Hall of Inventors, which holds the power to fix everything. All of this has been for Gu to succeed. Machete has transformed 10 people thus far into beautiful people in an effort to restore the world. But so far, all of them have chosen to use their looks to enact tyranny. Right now, only Gu can save the world. Machete hands her a small sample of royal blood, which will fool the aesthetic detectors. Inside the lab, the truth will be revealed. Gu wordlessly grabs the blood sample and heads to the castle. Once there, she uses the family key on the throne, which lowers her into a high-tech underground laboratory. In the center is a small console, and Gu dashes towards it. At the same time, Meng welcomes with open arms her impending death. The beauty filter envelops Meng in its light, just as Gu jams the blood sample into the console. 3 years ago, a young Meng releases baby turtles into a river, only to be caught by Queen Piers. Piers promises not to tell anyone that she is here. When she asks Meng why she is releasing turtles, Meng explains that she often buys them from collectors and sets them free. She relates this to herself, as her brother also forbids her from leaving the house on account of her homely appearance. Piers has seen beautiful people act ugly, and she has seen plain-looking people capable of incredible acts of kindness. She remarks that the turtle is free, thanks to Meng. However, Meng does not appreciate her words. She snarls that there is no way Piers could possibly understand how she and other ugly people feel, especially since she's tucked away and pampered in her ivory tower. Meng, calming down, apologizes for her outburst. Piers forgives her, and she brings her to her underground laboratory via the throne. Inside, Piers shows Meng her aesthetic detectors, a device that protects the more attractive person in any argument. She scrapped the idea long ago, belatedly realizing how insane of an idea it was. She also shows other devices that would later be used by the Four Knights, all of which were made by her on a whim during vacation. She highlights her latest device, the beauty film, which can make its user beautiful. Finally, she shows Meng a device that has been in her family for generations, the massive pillar-like structure known as the aesthetic seismograph. It has the power to control the planet's magnetic core and change people's perceptions. She recounts that, long ago, her ancestors lived in a world where money and height were worshipped, and that anyone with enough oratory talent could become a king. Eventually, Piers' great-great-grandma settled on beauty being the world's standard, and Piers has been guarding the device ever since. All this time, Piers has wondered if what she was doing was right. Is beauty truly the best standard to measure humanity? However, shockingly, Meng grabs one of Piers' inventions, the appearance gun, and points it at the queen. Piers is transformed into Heihachi Mishima, whom we later know as Dr. Machete. Meng tosses the gun on the ground and destroys it, ensuring that Machete will never return to being Piers. Meng revealed she was lying about the turtles earlier. She only released them because they reminded her of her ugliness. She knows that she is unattractive, untalented, and unintelligent. She deems the world they live in as unfair and rotten to its core. Beautiful people could never understand her struggles. Meng wants to be like Piers. Piers tries to reason with Meng, offering to find a way to make her beautiful in the future. Meng replies that she wants to be beautiful now. Meng transforms into Piers. Piers warns her that the device will stop working in 3 years. But by then, Meng claims, everyone will be dead alongside her. Meng, now claiming the title of Queen Piers, orders the other Piers to disappear. A drone fires its laser at Piers, but she manages to slip away by using a special remote she had tucked away. Meng has 3 years to live a beautiful life. while Piers limps away in the body of a fighting game character. Gu watches all these memories unfold, the truth of the world. The memories merge together into a visage of Piers. Piers admits that she was Machete, the same man who helped her become a beautiful woman. Gu is worried about her sister, but Piers reassures her that time inside this space is separate from the outside world. Piers explains that they are inside the inner space of the seismograph, wherein her consciousness and the consciousness of her predecessors are stored away. The blood that she gave Gu earlier unlocked access to it. Gu asks how she can turn off the beauty filter, and Piers explains that all her devices run on the power granted by the seismograph. The beauty filter, which Meng began developing on her own, cannot be stopped anymore. Gu asks how she can stop the filter from killing all non-beautiful life, and Piers replies that there is only one way: to reselect the standards of beauty. There is no other alternative. Piers remarks that she has long thought about what the proper standard for people should be. She has observed memories of her predecessors, who all had different answers to that question. Some worshipped height, others health, and others money. Different generations appreciate different aesthetics, and these standards always change. However, she has found that there is one constant: the average Joe. She encourages Gu to change the rules so that ordinary people becomes the new standard, but this will inevitably kill off those who don't live up to them. She asks Gu to choose. Gu stands silent for a moment before declaring that she won't make a choice. She detests this world, where beauty is the decider for everything. She desperately tried to fight against that world and failed, but everything changed when she became beautiful. From her new position of power, she made it so that high-star people did the work of the low-star people and freed the prisoners of Uglygate prison. However, she knows now that she was wrong. Cha was right. Beauty is not inherently bad. What's bad is using it as the end-all standard of living. Gu sees another way out of this. Destroy the seismograph completely. Piers, horrified, tells him to reconsider. Without the seismograph, her equipment throughout the country and the world would stop working. The world would fall into chaos, and Gu herself might die. Gu has accepted his fate. He's confident that, even without the drones telling people their worth, people will decide for themselves what their worth is. No longer will ugly people hide in shame. Everyone will have the same opportunity to carve out a name for themselves. That world is enough. Gu recalls all the drones back to the castle, and she has them target the seismograph. In a united concert, the drones open fire on the device. Piers' laboratory is blown to bits as Gu's body slowly crumbles away. Piers slowly disappears, and she hopes that Gu made the right choice. The results are instantaneous. The people are saved. Machete transforms back into Piers, and Meng opens her eyes to find herself still alive. The seismograph is destroyed, but so is Gu. In her final moments, she hopes that the world turns out to be beautiful. She says a final goodbye to Meng. The castle is enveloped by a massive pillar of light as it is destroyed. The beam can be seen for miles. Meng, realizing that Gu sacrificed herself, cries out in grief. 2 years pass. The horrors of that day are immortalized in a memorial, with many paying their respects to the deceased. There is much clamor for the fake Piers to be apprehended soon. The true Piers returns to the castle and officially repeals the Beauty Class Act. Piers also holds a press conference for the first time in forever. Later, after dismissing a meeting with her ministers, Piers asks May if she's found the culprit. May replies that they haven't found her yet. Piers remarks that they likely don't want to be found. Across the world, ugly and attractive people alike live in peace, though many unattractive people have begun heavily using video filters to change their appearance. Meanwhile, across the world, Meng has begun living on her own. The door behind her suddenly swings open, and a familiar voice calls out her name.